In the wrong hands, the Bible can be used in annoying ways. Even when interpreted correctly, it's still possible to apply the timeless truth into our lives incorrectly. Have you ever seen this before? Just last week, I feel like I found insight on a verse that falls into this category, and I fear I may have used it to beat up on my friends. Speak the truth in love. In my experience, I've seen people use this verse as license to call someone out on their immoral behavior, as the loving thing to do. And they're not wrong. Speak the truth in love. The Apostle Paul instructs us in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 15. We approach a loved one and we say, I love you, but I gotta say. And the wisdom literature in the Bible supports this by acknowledging faithful are the wounds of a friend. I've personally grown as a result of good friends telling me like it is. And Jesus knew that there'd be times when someone would need to lovingly confront another. He advised, if your brother sins against you, go and tell him his fault, between just you and him alone. But here's the thing. There's another side to these verses. They instruct and assume that you're consistently speaking the truth in love on a daily basis, not confronting, but affirming. We should be approaching loved ones often and saying, truthfully, God has really gifted you with the ability to. Or, hey, have you ever realized that you have a unique, wonderful way of? Speaking the truth over someone is powerful, especially when they can't personally recognize the goodness that you see in them. Don't forget who the Apostle Paul was speaking to when he instructed them to speak the truth in love. He was talking to two different groups of people who had great hostility towards one another and who now attended the same church. Yes, they would need to engage in important conflict resolution, but they would also need to affirm one another often. He tells them to treat one another with kindness and compassion. He tells the two groups who barely could put up with one another to build one another up. And we should do the same. Before we speak the truth in love in a confrontational manner, I think it's a good rule of thumb to speak the truth in love in an affirming manner 3 times as often. Because no one's gonna listen to your criticism unless they're convinced by your love that it's constructive. Affirm more, resolve more, criticize only when necessary. If you like this video, please help me out by liking, subscribing, commenting, and sharing with friends. I'm committed to creating weekly inspiration to become fully alive. Stay in touch with me and follow me on Facebook and Instagram, or come visit me in person at my church, Friends Orange. If you want to contact me, you can find that information at jhewitt.org.